Welcome to another hsextra.com high school football video coaches clipboard edition. I'm Joe Serrera, and I'm joined today by Southeast Guilford Falcons head coach Earl Bates. Coach Bates, thank you again for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Joe.
Your Falcons bounced back from two losses to start the Metro 4A season to get a really good win at Ragsdale. What went wrong in those two losses to start the season that you were able to correct, and how did you fix it against Ragsdale?
Well, we had two tough opponents, back to back. Grimsley was a really tough opponent. They're still undefeated, good football team. Had injuries early in that game and didn't respond very well. And then the Northern game, it was a game of missed opportunities. We had the ball inside the 20-yard line, first three possessions, and came away with 0 points. And I thought that really changed the game. If we just convert two of those possessions, I think it's a different football game. So penalties and mistakes really hurt us in that Northern game. Then, of course, last weekend, Ragsdale was a hard-fought football game. That they are much improved, but our kids did a good job. It was a defensive battle, and our kids did a good job of hanging in and winning that game last week.
I know you're a coach who doesn't complain about injuries or dwell on them, but how much did Cam Williams' absence early in that Grimsley game and then against Northern impact your team? I mean, I know he does so many different things for the Falcons.
He really does, and his teammates realize that he's a special, athlete. He's one that can play at a high level on both sides of the football. He scored in special teams for us last week also. So when he's on the field, he's definitely a threat. Right now, he's primarily playing offense for us. We hope to get him back on the defensive side a little bit too, because he does a great job for us there.
Who else is playing well for your football team right now?
Well, Jordan Dollard up front, he missed the Northern Guilford game. He plays well for us. Aaron Brown is doing a good job for us on the defensive line. Cameron Alcorn at linebacker. And then we got guys, Caleb Mosley is doing a great job for us on both sides of the football. We lost our tailback, our starting tailback. We lost him. So Tyshawn Wall, he's been out. So, we've lost our share of guys. We lost another offensive lineman in the Ragsdale game. So, everybody deals with injuries. It's just being able to get other guys ready to play, and those guys plays from week to week.
You mentioned Jordan Dollard. It seems like Southeast Guilford always has some guy like him, that kind of taller, athletic body type on the edge. Trey Love was the guy for a while. You've got a young man who's at one of the service academies right now. It just seems like you always have a guy like that. I mean, he just seems to be able to impact the game in a lot of ways, even use him some on offense.
Yes, he's much improved this year. We lost him on Thursday of that Northern week, so it wasn't a whole lot of turnaround and us making adjustments. And again, I think that affected us quite a bit in that football game. But he came back last week and he impacted the game defensively for us, and we're gonna continue to need those things. And he is a big body on offense for us also at tight end, so we got to utilize that a little more.
It seems as though there's a surprising score or two every week in the Metro 4A conference. What do you see as you look around the conference this year?
You've got Grimsley, and then you think about the other teams. When I look at scores, of course, the Southwest Northern game, and I know Northern is beat up a little bit too, but they did a great job against Northern Guilford. And then you see Northwest over there; they're scoring a whole lot of points. So I think it gets down to who's able to get the most guys on the field week to week, and then matchups play a key part of it also, how you match up against certain people.
Friday night, you've got a Southwest Guilford team coming into your place that seems to be playing their best football right now, and they're in the thick of the conference race as well as you guys. What do you see from the Cowboys?
Well, the first thing that stands out to me is them on defense. They really fly around on defense. They're real, number 90 up front on that defensive line he's a problem. He gives a lot of people a problem, and then we've got a big old nose guard. They got a lot of skilled kids that really fly to the football when you look at them defensively. And then offensively, they got guys that can make plays. You know, they run that 2-quarterback system with 14, probably one of the better athletes in our conference. And then number 2, when he comes in, he's a guy that he's really efficient in what he does and got good running backs. So they're well-rounded, and they seem to be playing their best football right now.
What does your team need to do Friday night to come off that field, the Bill Slayton Athletic Field, with a victory?
You know, I think the formula is the same week to week. We didn't turn the football over last week. We eliminated a lot of penalties, and we won a special team battle. So, you know, those are the things that we have to do in order to give us a chance to win. We can't continue to beat ourselves. I think, you know, we did a lot of that in the Northern game where we did things that worked against us, and we can't do that against it. Good football teams will make you pay for those mistakes, and we can't do those things this week.
Well, it's going to be a great football game Friday night at your place. I'll be there to cover it for the News and Record and hsextra.com. Anybody wants to see a great football game in Guilford County Friday night, Southwest Guilford at Southeast would be a good choice. Coach Bates, thank you for your time. Good luck Friday, and wish you guys nothing but luck going forward.
All right. Thank you, Joe.